Hey seniors, today we're going to continue with repeating decimals to fractions. So let's go ahead and jump in. On your notes page, go ahead and draw your line and then write repeating decimals to fractions in the top left-hand corner. This will be example 1. This actually says 0. In case this is fuzzy on your screens, this says 0.4. And of course I know that this is a repeating decimal because of the line across the number. If I want to turn it into a fraction, I think back to my steps from yesterday. My first step is to set x equal to that value. I know that I then have to move my decimal one place to the right in order to have a whole number to work with for our new equation. So I multiply both sides by 10. And 10x, 10 times x is 10x, and then 4.4. 0.4 times 10 is 4.4. Then my next step is to subtract my original equation from my new equation. So 10x minus x is 9x, 4 minus 0 is 4, and then 4 minus 4 is 0. So I have 9x equals 4. I solve for x, divide both sides by 9. X equals 4 ninths. Let's do another one. All right, go ahead and write example 2 on your notes page, and then this says 0.25. And you should notice something different about this example. This one has two numbers that repeat, 2 and 5. Our process is the same, but there's one extra step. So my pen is your pen. Make sure you have all this down. My first step is to set the value equal to x. Now, I'm looking back at my number, and I see that 5 is in the hundredths place. If I want to get my decimal on the other side of 5, or moving it 2 places to the right, I have to multiply by 100 instead of 10. So since there are two values, I multiply both sides by 100. All right, and that gives me 100x equals 25.25. And then my process is the same from there. I subtract my original equation from my new equation. So 100x minus x is 99x. 25 minus 0 is 25, and then 25 minus 25 is 0. So I'm left with 99x equals 25. At this point, all I have to do is solve for x. So I divide both sides by 99, and that leaves me with x equals 25/99. So the only extra step we did there was because we had to move our decimal 2 places to the right instead of just 1, we multiplied by 100 instead of 10. Let's do another one. All right. Go ahead and write example 3 on your notes page, and then 0.15. And again, I know it's repeating because of the line across the 2 digits. So my first step is to set x equal to the value. And then my process is the same. I know since there are 2 digits past the decimal and 5 is in the 100ths place, in order to move that decimal to the right 2 places, I have to multiply both sides by 100. And that leaves me with 100x equals 15.5. And then my process is the same from there. I subtract my original equation of x equals 0.15. And then I just subtract down. 100x minus x is 99x. 15 minus 0 is 15, and then 15 minus 15 is 0. So then all I have to do now is subtract. Solve for x. I divide both sides by 99, and that leaves me with x equals 15/99. I'm almost done, except that I see that both of these numbers can be reduced. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce this fraction by dividing both top and bottom by 3, and that's going to leave me with 5/33. And that's my final answer. Let's try another one. All right, if I want convert 5/33 back to a repeating decimal, I go through my same process. I divide these numbers top in, bottom out. Top goes in, bottom goes out. All right, I know that 33 does not go into 5, so I go ahead and put a 0. I have a decimal here that I can now bring up. And I know that 33 still doesn't go into 5, so I add a 0. 33 does go into 50 one time. 1 times 33 is 33. And then I just subtract down. I can't subtract 0 from 3, so now I have to go next door and borrow. This becomes 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. 33 does not go into 17, so I know I have to add a 0. 33 does go into 170 5 times. And then if I multiply all this out, 33 times 5, 15, carry my 1, 165. If I subtract 170 from 165, I'm left with 5. And I know that 33 does not go into 5, so I have to add a 0. I could keep doing this all day, and you're going to keep getting the 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. So I can just go ahead and write, since I know that this decimal repeats, I can write my answer as 0.15, repeating with the bar across to show that it repeats. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. It's time for you guys to practice.